Hello, viewers at home. I'm the Yu-Gi-Oh! Critic, reviewing all sorts of decks and packs all around. Today, I'll be reviewing to you the Machine Revolt Structure Deck. Now, this is the 10th Structure Deck I first have released, with 18 monster cards, 14 spell cards, and 8 trap cards. I'll start you off with the monster cards, starting with this one, Ancient Gear Gatsatron Dragon. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. If you tribute summon this card by tributing any of the following monsters, this card gets the appropriate effect. Green Gadget. During battle between this attacking card and the defense position monster's defense points are lower than the attack points of this card, inflict the difference as battle damage to your opponent. Red Gadget. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, inflict 400 points of damage to your opponent. Yellow Gadget. If this card destroys your opponent's monster by battle, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. This is Ancient Gear Gatsatron Chimera. If you tribute summon this card by tributing one of the following monsters, this card gets the appropriate effect. Green Gadget. This card gains 300 attack points. Red Gadget. If this card successfully attacks your opponent directly, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Yellow Gadget. If this card destroys your opponent's monster by battle, inflict 700 damage to your opponent. And this Ancient Gear Engineer. Negate the effect of any trap card that targets this card and destroy that trap card. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap card until the end of the damage step. When this card attacks, destroy one spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field at the end of the damage step. There's Boot Up Ultra Red Dynamo. While you have a face-up Gadget monster on your side of the field, this card gains 2,000 attack points. And we've got this monster, or Mechanical Chaser. I know you think normal monsters are useless, but some can be handy, like Mechanical Chaser. And we got our Green Gadget. When it's normal summoned or special summoned, you get to transfer Red Gadget from your deck to your hand. For Red Gadget here, when it's normal summoned or special summoned, Yellow Gadget is transferred from your deck to your hand. And as with Yellow Gadget, you can transfer Green Gadget from your deck to your hand when you normal summon or special summon this monster. Now here's Cannon Soldier. By tributing one monster, you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. And with it. And this Gear Golem, the Moving Fortress. Once a turn during your main phase 1, by paying 800 life points, this card can attack your opponent directly this turn. Now this next monster is Heavy Mech Support Platform. It's a Union monster. If you want to know what Union monsters are about, go look him up. Once a turn, if you control this monster on the field, you can equip it to a face-up machine type monster on your side of the field as an equip card, or unequip it and special summon it in face-up attack position. And equipped to a monster by this card's effect, that monster gains 500 attack points and defense points. One monster can only be equipped with one Union monster at a time. If the equipped monster would be destroyed, this card is destroyed instead. And this deck comes with 2 Heavy Mech Support Platforms for the price of 1, giving you a bit of an edge. Now for this next monster, Ancient Gear Golem. You cannot special summon it. And when this monster attacks a monster in defense mode, the difference is dealt as damage. Still, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. Next we have your Ancient Gear Beast. It also cannot be special summoned. The effect extra for your opponent's monster is that this card destroys by battle or negated. And also if this card attack your opponent cannot use any spell or trap card until the end of the damage step. There's Ancient Gear Soldier. It'll automatically forbid your opponent from using a spell card or trap card when it attacks until the end of the damage step. This next monster is called Ancient Gear. If you control a face-up Ancient Gear monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in attack position. There are 2 Ancient Gear in the deck, which makes it handy. Now for Ancient Gear Cannon. By attributing this card, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent, and then neither player can activate trap cards during the battle phase of this turn. Well, that's just the monster cards. Now I'll do you the spell cards. This is an Ancient Gear Workshop. With this spell card, you get to add 1 Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard to your hand. Next here is Ancient Gear Tank. This equip spell can only be equipped to an Ancient Gear monster. And that gains 600 attack points. When this card is just right in the center of the graveyard, your opponent takes 600 points of damage. Now this next spell card is Ancient Gear Explosive. You can target 1 face-up Ancient Gear monster on your side of the field when you activate this card. You destroy that target monster and inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its original attack points. Well, we've got another equip spell here called Ancient Gear Fist. Again, this card can be equipped to only an Ancient Gear monster. Destroy any monster that battles with it at the end of the damage step. This next spell is called Ancient Gear Factory. You select 1 Ancient Gear monster in your hand. You show it to your opponent. You remove from play Ancient Gear monsters in your graveyard whose total levels are equal to or double the selected cards. And you don't have to tribute when you normal summon the selected card this turn. Okay, there's the Ancient Gear Drill spell card. You activate only by discarding 1 card from your hand, and while a face-up Ancient Gear monster is on your side of the field. You select 1 spell card from your deck and set it on your side of the field. You cannot use the spell card this turn. Now we have a continuous spell card called Ancient Gear Castle. Every time you normal summon or set a monster, this card gets 1 counter. And all your Ancient Gear monsters gain 300 attack points. That's what this card are on the field. If you tribute summon an Ancient Gear monster, you can substitute this card for the right amount of tributes if the number of counters is equal to or greater than the number of required tributes. Like say you want to summon an Ancient Gear Golem, and you have 2 or more counters on an Ancient Gear Castle. You can send the Ancient Gear Castle to the graveyard to summon Ancient Gear Golem. Here's a quick play spell card called Old Mystical Space Typhoon. I may have mentioned in this card when I reviewed my last 2 decks. You destroy 1 spell or trap that's on the field. Hold with it. This is also a quick play spell card called Limiter Removal. You double the attack points of all face-up machine type monsters on your side of the field until the end of the turn. During the end phase, you destroy all monsters that are affected by this effect. Now with this next spell card called Heavy Storm. I mentioned this in my previous review. This was my Fury from the even Dinosaur's Rage structure deck reviews. Destroys all spell and trap cards that are on the field, yours included. Now for this quick play spell card called Enemy Controller. You select and activate one of these 2 effects. Change the battle position of 1 face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field, or tribute 1 monster. Select 1 face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field, and take control of the selected card until the end of the turn. Over this continuous spell card called Weapon Change. once during each of your standby phases, you can pay 700 life points to activate this card's effect. Switch the attack into one warrior type or machine type monster on your side of the field. Hold on until the end of your opponent's next turn. When this card is destroyed, the effect is negated. Over a spell card called Machine Duplication. You select one machine type monster with 500 or less attack points on your side of the field. You can special summon up to 2 cards with the same name from your deck. Well, there's the last spell card in the deck called Pot of Avarice. You can only activate this card whenever. You select like five monster cards from your graveyard, then add them to your hand, deck and shuffle it. After that, draw 2 cards. Well, basically, when you've got one of the 5 monsters in your graveyard, that's the best time to activate, in my opinion. Anyways, we're now onto the trap cards, which is this one, Stronghold the Moving Fortress. This trap card is also a monster card. I don't know why. After activation, special summon this card in defense position. It's treated as an effect monster card. Machine type, Earth attribute, level 4. 0 attack points, 2000 defense points. This card is still treated as a trap card. While green gadget, red gadget, and yellow gadget are all face up on your side of the field at the same time, the attack points of this card becomes 3000. And we have this next continuous trap card called Ultimate Offering. If you're unaware of it, I'll tell you. By paying 500 life points during your main phase or opponent's battle phase, you get a normal summon or set and 1 extra monster, but only during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. This next trap card is called Sakuretsu Armor. You can activate this card only when your opponent declares an attack. You destroy the attacking monster. And this deck comes with 2 Sakuretsu Armors, giving you a way to get rid of 2 of your opponent's monsters. Now for this next trap card called Micro Ray. The defense points of one face-up monster on the field becomes 0 until the end of this turn. Now for this next trap card called Rare Metal Morph. You select one machine type monster on your side of the field. It gains 500 attack points. Only once negate the effect of a spell card that targets the monster. When the selected monster is removed from the field, destroy this card. This next trap card is called Covering Fire. If your opponent's monster attacks a monster on your side of the field, you can activate this card during the damage step. Your attacked monster gains defense points, attack points, equal to the attack points of one other face-up monster on your side of the field, while during the damage step only. Now, this trap card is the last card to the deck, called Rollout. Select one union monster in your graveyard and equip it to an appropriate monster on your side of the field. And that's all that we have in the deck. If you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment. I'm the Yu-Gi-Oh! Critic. I review decks and packs everywhere for you to enjoy.